Hi everyone, I'm JD. Welcome back to my channel. So I have got my Johanna Clough journal to share with you. This is my journal I made for myself to only use for her journal prompts that she has with her monthly zine. I'll link below her Etsy if you're interested in checking out that zine and doing her journal prompts. And I'm starting with January and going all the way through to December. And I'm a bit behind, so I have only gotten January done first, but as I do each month, I'll share what I've done. So let's go into what I've done so far. And so for the front, I have just added one of her doily printables here, and I always like to put details about the journal in the front, so when I made it or who I got it from and what I'm going to use it for. And just get my kitty. And then I have just decorated with a bit of Johanna Clough's zine. So I actually got a hard copy of it, and then I've got the digital versions as well. So I'm just using only things from her zine in this. And for example, like with January, I'm only using the January things that she put in that kit or pack. And that's all I'm using to decorate, basically. And my challenge is to use every piece that she's put in the pack somehow in the spreads. So it was a fun challenge, or it's still a fun challenge, but this is the cover of the zine. So I'm kind of like deconstructing the zine in my journal. And then at the start, I'm just writing just general information about how I did a giveaway with one of her zines and bought one of the zines for myself, and then how she gave me some free linen packs and 50% off her digitals. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. And that's the reason why I'm doing this journal now, is because of that amazing opportunity. So I thank her so much for that, and just documenting all of that. And I'm also writing about how I would love to do my own zine or book of journal prompts, which has been in the works for many years, and her zine just inspires me so much that I'm thinking maybe I'll do my own zine of journal prompts. And so I'm using this journal to also document my ideas, to brainstorm, and yeah, use it to develop that idea. So hopefully it could be ready by next year to release. And yeah, I'll process each month a different theme and prompts. There'll be a prompt for each day, and yeah, we'll just see how that goes. And then every zine of hers, every issue for each month comes with a spiel for the month, and then it comes with some prompts. So I always like to put that at the start of the section to do with the month. And yeah, January was all about goals, and I just wrote about my own New Year's tradition of reflecting on the previous year and setting goals for the new year. And also I write my highlights of the previous year, so this is just going into all of that. So yeah, I'm not using it just for her prompts, but to do with my own whatever it brings up for me, I will also write about that. And it's also, that helps me then brainstorm for my own zine. So for example, I'm brainstorming here of monthly themes. And I haven't filled in every little space, and I'm learning to be okay with that, to just let it sit, and maybe I'll come back and fill it in, and maybe I won't. So this is her vision board. One of the prompts was to create a vision board. And so I put hers in there, and then I created my own vision board. I did this by opening up a Word document and then just adding photos of things that meant something to me, and quotes and words that meant something to me for this year. So the quotes that I have, that speak to me, that I came up with for this year are: what can I do to best bring light to the world? Because my theme for this year is light. And another quote here that I just came up with is: be thankful for what you had, not for what you lost. So there are other words here of receive, sparkle, trust, I am his, as in I am God's, delight, And just it says JD's Vision Board 2019 down there. Keanu, my little Keanu, there he is, just jumped up there. He has to be in this. My point shoes, a dream come true that happened this year. This represents my hang on, I've got the bigger version here. This is a copy. I've got the original here that I printed out. So the pencils represent, Prismacolor pencils represent the fact that I'm publishing the art book this year. This journal represents the fact that I love journaling. This obviously is a big thing that will be here for throughout 2019. I'll be using it every month, so I thought that should be in there. My favourite beach, well, one of my favourite beaches, just representing, you know, sparkles and blue and where I live in 2019. My logo for my writing is Words Like Silk. My logo for my journals, Willow Bound Journals. And then Johanna's zine there for that inspiration. One of my vintage postcards, and just how I adore that dress. And beauty, oh, I should have put beauty as a word, but that can represent beauty. And then this pen, again, just because it reminds me, I'm such a big fangirl, seriously, of Johanna Clough. Oh, I keep saying Clough. And let's put that there because it's so pretty. And sparkles, because I love blue and sparkles, and so diamonds and sapphires are my favourites. The blue butterfly, of course, that represents me, that's my symbol. And the blue bird as well. I didn't put a blue flower. Oh, that's right, there's the blue flower represented with Johanna's digital linens. Just shows two there to go on the page. Sorry, it's not in frame. So that's my vision board. I really like it. And then each little spiel that I write from now on in this month is just answering her prompts. So something about last year I would like to continue this year, Willow Bound Journals. So that's what I wrote about there. Because Willow Bound Journals was created last year. And yeah, all of these are her digitals from her monthly zine. Same with all of this. I just turned this one into a pocket. What would I like to improve this year? That was one of the prompts. Receiving from God, just learning how to receive from Him and simply letting Him love me. Trusting in God, knowing He will always provide for me. And letting God be God and just doing me. Then I have my goals, and here I'm just writing about my only tangible goal for this year really is to write the book, the mental health book. Also to work on Willow Bound Journals, but yeah, I've just done some practical things in here, so I kind of expand on the prompts if I feel I want to, and have just given myself this list of things, you know, deadlines and things that need to happen for this book, fundraising and getting a cover designed and getting a book team together, so that's just a checklist type of thing. And then I've turned this linen into a printable, I turned this digital printable linen into a pocket. All of this came from the kit for that month. A challenge I learned from. So I recorded how I did a writing course last year. I started one anyway, and one of the subjects was Intro to Creative Writing at Bible College, and I did a essay on C.S. Lewis, and one of the challenges, you know, it's a challenge to write an essay, and one of the things he challenged me with, that's how I get challenged into this, is the imagination. So he gave me the tool or insight that the imagination is a way that we can engage with God. It's a way we can engage with ideas that are bigger than ourselves, which I think is really cool. So using fiction writing, for example, to wrestle with ideas of theology and to be able to better understand them through fiction. And so through this course I wrote a fiction story that helped me to wrestle with some issues that I was going through, and I could totally see how the imagination can be a help to that when other things may not be a help, like the intellect by itself, or rationality. Sometimes you need imagination to go outside yourself and take in concepts that are too big for us. yeah, so that was an interesting challenge, and it challenges me to use my imagination more, use it as a tool to connect with God and understand Him better. And yeah, anyway, this one here is about my current journaling style. That was a prompt, and how I'm just talking about I would love to be a bit more visual in my style, and using all of these, things here rather than just getting a page and writing on it. And then here's me just brainstorming the prompts for each day in January. And then, here's an example of me just using the bits and pieces and not necessarily needing to fill it up with writing. It can just stand alone because it's pretty. So, but I can always come back to it if I want to fill it in with writing. So I like that it has that space too, so I can. Maybe thoughts will come to me later on and I want to write it in January because it has to do with goals or something. And if I want to brainstorm some more, I've got some space to do that. So it's really good. And if not, it just looks pretty. So these, again, all from the kit. And this one I did a calendar, and I might do this for every month. Use one of her larger pages, although you can size them however you want. It's just that I size them like this. Use one of the larger pages to do a calendar, so I can just have a little bit of a snapshot of the year. And I think this journal is really going to turn into a bit of a key keepsake of the year, because it will just capture everything, really. Won't only just capture the prompts, but I can write about stuff that happened in that month as well. So there's space to do that. There's a lot of space. And then the last prompt for January was values, or the last one I filled out. I don't necessarily do them in the order that she writes them in. And I'm not too happy with this page. I could have done something more creative to make it more appealing, but I am learning to accept my journey, and just getting something onto the page is the main thing. So what are your values? And I went with creativity, beauty, giving, stories, learning, kindness, encouragement, and expression. And that is my January journaling. I just had so much fun. I'm really loving getting more visual, using things like this, and getting more interactive too, and going through the prompts and having that space to reflect and think about my life year. And so I really just want to thank Johanna for her zine that she created, for the helpfulness it is, and can I speak properly, and for the inspiration that it is to me too. So I've already made a start on February, but I haven't finished yet, so I won't share that till I finished it. But there you go. I'm really loving this. It is so fun. I just can't get over it, how fun it is. So yeah, I love it. And let me know what you guys think, and check out her channel. I'll link her channel below, and her Etsy, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!